It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans on Thursday night primetime.
In the only building this franchise has ever known, we're at the home of the Texans. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. From up in the booth, Kate Scott, Brock Ewart with you for this contest, and pretty obvious what this one is framed around, right, partner?
What do you think, the two quarterbacks?
There you go, nailed it. The two quarterbacks who are both right now among some of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, we know what they can do with their talent, right? We have seen their arm on display week after week, but how do they captain their offense and guide the ship when they're facing, well, one of the few guys in the NFL on the other side who can match them throw for throw? It's going to be must-see TV.
Ready to get this game started. Here's Evan McPherson. And we're off and running from Houston. Set to return, this is Braxton Berrios. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So here come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out is the second overall pick back in the 2023 draft from the Ohio State. It's C.J. Stroud.
It didn't take long for C.J. Stroud to make an immediate impact into the NFL, and it didn't take long for me, Kate, to form an opinion that this guy is just different. He just processes the game quicker. Remember talking to Ryan Day on the practice field in Columbus, watching him in college, and he just alluded to that as well. It's the anticipation. It is knowing where everybody is and getting that ball out before any receiver will even break on a route. C.J. was unique in that way, and that skill set has been a big part of his success.
On target to his back, Joe Mixon. That one goes for 25 yards. And the Texans are going to have a first down.
Yeah, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the first down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
First down, Stroud. To the sideline, Collins brings it in. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun now for Stroud. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Third down, Mixon gets it. And he fought the good fight there just to make it back to the line. Just short on third down, no gain on the run, and now what will they do on 4th?
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Texans going to kick this away on 4th, and it's Tommy Townsend on for the punt. And this will put an end to the drive after it's stalled out. So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. So here come the Bengals, ready for their opening drive. They're led out by the legend over in LSU, the former #1 overall pick in 2020, Joe Burrow.
When Joe Burrow's between the white lines, he's one of the game's best and most entertaining quarterbacks. He just has a cool factor that is the envy of so many. Nothing seems to bother them other than some injuries that unfortunately have ended seasons early. When he's on the field, timing, the anticipation, Kate, the precision with which he plays, he has very few peers.
Right to the air, Burrow. Out to his wideout, it's a screen. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on second down.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Throwing the out route complete. This is ahead for about 5. Kamari Lassiter getting up there to make the stop. The rookie from Georgia in on that tackle.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
On third down, here's Burrow. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
First and 10 from the 41. Putting a receiver in motion. To throw again, it's Burrow. Finds his man, Chase. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
These defensive ends today are so good, Kate, with their hands, and it's often right off the jump. If you can win with your hands, if you can create space, you can get a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, it was bad enough that the previous run went backwards. You've got to have balance in this league. I mean, you really do. There's no chance offensively to find sustained success unless you present run and pass to a defense. And right now, this defense is owning your run game.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. And this will bring a drive that had some promise to a disappointing end. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Call that punt a 52-yard effort. And it's going to be Texans football. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. On play action, here's Stroud. Has a man, Dalton Schultz. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Finding Collins. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. From the 39. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And that'll be enough for the first as they touch him down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Ball on the 45. 1st and 10. To the air yet again. It's Stroud. Catch is made down the right sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. This play goes for 36. And it sets up a Houston first.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw when you throw it that deep outside the numbers that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Out of the shotgun, a give to Mixon. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Looking to throw, Stroud. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They're going to run here. It's Mixon. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal. Oh, fullback's got it. Look at the power. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He manages a couple, and they are right on the verge of it. 3rd and goal from the 1. We've arrived at the end of one on Thursday night. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Welcome back. Time for our 2nd quarter. The Texans with a chance to score. Mixon. And he could not get there. They stop him right at the line. No gain, maybe just a couple of inches on the run. That brings up 4th and goal.
Well, this defense simply outplayed the offense here on these first 3 downs. And now they put this offense in the unenviable position of deciding what to do on 4th and goal.
Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. Sending this straight at it. Everly's kick is good. And they're on the board.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Bengals all set to go for their 2nd drive. And coming off our first points of the ball game, they're going to take over now trailing 3-zip. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll motion him out of the backfield. 1st down, Burrow to throw. This is hauled in by T. Higgins. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down On the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Burrow setting up the play action. Finds a seam down the middle. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Azeez Al-Shire that time on the tackle. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Second and 8. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Burrow from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a pickup of 26. And it sets up a Cincinnati first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
Oh, those linebackers. Those linebackers. They seem to be in the thick of every play and some of the quickest reaction times out there. He needed a quick reaction there to get a finger on the throw and change its direction.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Brown crosses the goal line for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals take a 2nd quarter lead. Evan McPherson on to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bengals take a 4-point lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Dameon Pierce now to return it. Returns looking good so far. And he's well across the 45, almost all the way to midfield before going out. Out now come the Texans on offense. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. Short pass brought in. And he has this one past the 50 and will start downhill into Bengals territory.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Shotgun now for Stroud. Mechie hauls it in. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Throwing is Stroud. Brought in right side. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. From the 24. Quick slant here to Kirk. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. They get an even 10 on that play. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. The throw is caught. And this is down all the way to the 3. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Mixon. Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on 1st down. More to come.
Again, the give to Mixon. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. Give him 2 yards on the run, and that leaves them just inches short for 3rd down.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
We've hit the 2-minute warning now at NRG. The Texans trailing on the scoreboard. Now Stroud on 3rd and goal. Catch is made in close. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans get some late points and the lead. So Brock, good work there to finish off the drive in the end zone and retake the lead.
You just get this feeling every once in a while in games, this sucker's going to be a back-and-forth football game. So what a great job offensively to jump out in front here in the 1st half of play.
Here's Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Texans push their lead to 3. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Bengals and running back Chase Brown getting set to begin another drive here. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. First and 10 now from the 30. Burrow out of the shotgun. Gets it to his man, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Into the hands of Gesicki, complete. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. First and 10 now. Here's Burrow. And the first down pass sent away by a defender, incomplete. That one firmly denied by the man in coverage. So second down coming up.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Burrow throwing again on second and 10. Finds his man, Chase. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They pick up 20 yards there. And it'll be first down, Bengals.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. On first down, here's Burrow. Walking the tightrope there, but he makes the grab in bounds. Second and 3 now. To throw again, it's Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Up to the line, and they're set. First and 10. They kick the running back in motion. First down, Burrow to throw. That's Gesicki, he's got it! And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. Cincinnati uses its second timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Second and 3 now. Burrow to the air now. Got a man, it's Gesicki. And not much doing, he stopped quickly.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. The tight end going in motion right. Here he is to throw on 3rd and 2. That's complete to Gesicki outright. And he's tackled for a short gain. Now just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense. And they can try for some points going into the break. And on 4th down, out comes the Bengals field goal team and Evan McPherson. A very short kick here from the right hash. Butker knocks it through. And that's going to tie us up just before halftime.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. One last play before the break. One final shot before halftime. And for the first time, one of his throws doesn't find a home. It's incomplete, but boy, what a streak he had to begin this game.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Well, we're set up for an incredible second half, all tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. Here's Charlie Jones with the return. And look at this return. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. Here comes the Cincinnati offense for the first drive of our second half. And they could take control in the second half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. That's Sheldon Rankins in on the stop. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Caught by the open man. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a massive 35-yard pickup, 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Motion man sent left. Burrow from the gun. Brought in close to the 8. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
1st down from the red zone. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
So the incompletion on 1st, here's 2nd and goal. Throwing it again here. Has it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Brown. And he could not get there. They stop him right at the line. No gain on the run, and how about this? It brings up 4th and goal from the 1.
Well, this defense has risen to the occasion, and now, Kate, they put this offense in the unenviable position of deciding what to do on 4th and goal.
Big play here, tie game, and here comes 4th and goal. They'll run again with Brown. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Bengals take the lead right away in half number 2. So, Brock, they take a gamble, and it pays off with a big touchdown on 4th and goal.
And they do it on the ground as well, and that just speaks volumes. That's confidence that you can own this line of scrimmage, and your back will see a lane and will get the job done. That just infuses your team and your sidelines with so much confidence.
McPherson at the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bengals break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Barrios now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Texans and running back Joe Mixon headed out for their next series. And the running lanes, and they've been hazardous. Not quite the decorated collection of highlights from him that we're going to look at here. Those big plays, the explosive runs where he leads an offense, just haven't been there for him in this one. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Stroud. And a man is there to knock that away.
I'll tell you what, Kate, that's a really nice play in coverage. That linebacker looking like a cornerback on that play. Perhaps those cover guys could take some notes on how to stay in position and, most importantly, swat that pass away.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. From the gun, Stroud. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Whole bunch of credit goes to just about everybody on that offense. Guys up front had to give the QB enough time to let that play develop. Excellent effort by that receiver to stay alive and for the quarterback to scan the field and find his completion.
Stroud now on 3rd. That's caught for the 1st. On the move, past the 40. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Stroud throwing here on 1st. Finding Collins. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They gain 14 on the play. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st down, Stroud. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
All right, here we go. Second down. Trying again, following the sack. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Throwing on third down, Stroud. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down.
Because you are so often drilled as a quarterback, right? Touchdown to check down in the red zone. Touchdown to check down in the red zone. Find an outlet. And the last thing you can ever do, is take a sack in the red zone.
Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this fourth down. Ball on the right hash, the distance 43 yards. Everly's kick is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. On the return, here's Jones. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Bengals and Joe Burrow all set to take over. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. On target to his man, Higgins. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
Play action now, Burrow. Buying some time right. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And that pushes them back, 3rd down coming up.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
3rd and short, it's Burrow. He has the first over the middle. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped. He gets 6 on that play. And it sets up a Cincinnati 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. Catch made by Chase Brown. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make it pay.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Burrow setting up the play action. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. To throw again, it's Burrow. That's Gesicki, he's got it! And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Finds Chase on the slant. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Bengals. We've reached the end of the 3rd quarter on this Thursday night. The Bengals with it. They've got the lead, but this game is close. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Bails out of the pocket quick. He can run it.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. From the 24. Completes this one to Chase. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. On the ground, Brown. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Burrow setting to throw. Has it in close. Touchdown, Cincinnati! Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
McPherson at the point after. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call. So they tag him for roughing the kicker. And now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft in and try to stick him deep. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a look at this Texans offense. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. First and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Buys time, rolling right. He takes it himself. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent game.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 36. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. It's a gain of 12 there. And it sets up a Houston first.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Collins there to grab it. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
From the 46. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Cam Taylor-Britt picks it off. And the Bengals return the interception almost to midfield before the tackle's made. Well, Brock, they could have gone run to set up 3rd and short, or they could air it out and try for more. They picked the latter, and the coverage was ready for it.
Sure was, Kate, and this is why I play in this position. You've got to have a short memory. You must flush it. I love the decision to be aggressive. I always fall on that side of the coin, but when you throw a pick in that situation, such a manageable 2nd down, well, you got to learn from it, move on, and certainly flush it away.
Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. Got a man, it's Gesicki. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 47. Short pass brought in. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he's going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals have likely locked up the win right there. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Well, as they drive forward to what right now looks like it should be a win, Brock. He sure is taking advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity. Certainly paying dividends in this one, but more than likely for more games to come.
McPherson at the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bengals push their lead to 18. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Pierce now on the return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. The Texans and Christian Kirk headed back onto the field. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. Had that one, but just couldn't see it through. And now they face 2nd down.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
2nd and 10, Stroud to throw. Finds him over the middle. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Stroud. This is complete to Schultz. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
To the air yet again. It's Stroud. Hits him on the out route. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
2nd and 3 now. Stroud off the play fake. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 24 on that play. And it sets up a Houston 1st. Working quickly here. 1st down, Stroud. Touchdown, Houston! All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Texans make it an 11-point ball game. With time ticking away, they prepare for a must-get onside kick. And the Bengals hands team does its job recovering that kick. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. The Bengals are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And you know this firsthand, partner. You get above that 300 mark, you and your offense are going to have plenty of highlights to choose from by this point in the game. We're getting a look at some of them now. You just got to marvel at how well he's played the quarterback position here. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Run with Brown. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Brown again. And the struggles continue for him tonight. He's only able to get back to the line. No gain here after a gain of only 1, and now they'll face 3rd and 9. That takes us to the 2-minute warning in Houston. Bengals up by 11. So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. He has the first over the middle. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Going with Brown on the ground. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down. Following the run, we see he's still out there dealing with some sort of injury. They'll head out to check on him. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Sending the tight end in motion left. They'll run here. It's Zach Moss who gets it. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Houston calls it 2nd timeout. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call's going to be on 3rd down. Tight end motioning right. 3rd down, here's Moss. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Final timeout called by the Texans, as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. Evan McPherson on for the Bengals field goal. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Butker knocks it through. And that extends their lead to 14.
That kick, well, it throws a roadblock up on some of the remaining avenues to get back in this game and really leaves only one remaining. It's going to take 2 touchdowns if they want a shot at it. And we know those odds, they're getting pretty long.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Barrios now to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. Here come the Texans as they get set to take over on offense. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. Pass caught by Mixon. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains, but I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out, and this time it was out of the backfield with the running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
From the 35 on second down, finding Collins. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
The clock rolls as the Texans try to hurry their offense to the line. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Into the hands of Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
The clock rolls as the Texans try to hurry their offense to the line. Stroud throwing here on 1st. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Still sticking with the passing game. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw it. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. Trying to push it deep downfield. Wide open downfield. Got it! And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line. So the Bengals take this one on the road. Well, partner, we spoke earlier about how much of a factor this home crowd was going to be. But even with the added boost from the friendly confines, couldn't will them to the victory.
Yeah, sometimes it just isn't your game. You're never going to win them all, even at home. But what's important now is learning from this defeat, hitting the film room, hitting the weights, making sure this doesn't happen again. Don't let this loss beat you twice.
So for Brock Heward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Bengals emerge as winners, as we'll see you next time from Houston.